The following program is rated GE. It is suitable for general family viewing.
I'm Joe Kyoko. I'm the CEO of Joe Cheese Kenya. And what I do is to make sure I go through my farms and also to the farms of the clients to see what is happening. If there is any assistance they need, we help them. I chose poultry farming because one, I wanted to create jobs for youth and women, and also I was creating job for myself. Yeah. We have different types of birds. We have that pure layers, which the work of that bird is laying. Then we have another type, which is a mix, like the one that we have here. It is both layers and cocks. So these birds can lay. The only thing they don't do is they don't brood, but they lay the eggs which are fertilized. Then those eggs, you can take them to the machine, that is incubator. You hatch them, or if you don't have the machine, you can take the eggs to those indigenous chicken, that is pure kienyeji, which can brood. We started poultry farming long time ago when I finished my A-level. I did the pure kienyeji. Then from there, I went to do computer engineering, and I was employed when I was employed, I used to go to Uganda, where I found a very big bird, which was different from the one that I was doing. Then when I talked to the companies which are doing that, they told me there is a bird called improved kienyeji, and specific what they were calling it croiler. And they told me that bird is coming from India, and it is designed for African market. So in 2017 is when I seriously ventured into poultry farming. Number one, the first thing that you are supposed to do, you should know the number of birds that you want to keep. If you know, it will help you now budget. You go to the capital. The other thing that you are supposed to look in keenly, it is a structure. The way you put up your structure. And when you come to structure, you check things like security, ventilation, and how you are supposed to put your house in. We have the security, the one that you lock, very strong doors. There are other securities that we call biosecurity. That is like when you see in our farm, there is that place that you step before you get in. That we call it a footpath. You make sure you have that. The other thing you consider is where the weed is coming from, those kind of things. There are those factors. And we have a book that we've written, and it has all those details, what you need to know. You need also to know when you put your birds, your chicken, where are you taking them? That is market. You should have an idea of where you are going to sell your birds. Yeah. The height of the house, it should accommodate you, because you need to go in, you collect eggs, you do cleaning, so it should be height of your somebody's height, that is about 5 feet. Then if you can check, you see our structure, there is that foundation whereby we put either concrete, that bricks, or you look for wood or a very strong metal sheet. You make it as you put it like between 3 to 5 foot. Then from there you do at least 4 feet of federation wire. That is the one that is going to allow the air to come in and go out. Yeah. The lifespan of a bird is, it can stay for years, but there is that range that we need, that is called production range. And like these ones, we told you is improved kienyeji, it is going to take only 3 months you sell for a meat. It will be weighing up to between 1.5 to 3 kgs. Then at 4.5 months, you start collecting eggs. Now, when you start collecting eggs, you will collect eggs for 1.5 years. That bird is going to be producing well the eggs. Then from there, you'll see the drop of eggs. At that age, we advise farmers to sell it for meat. Then you put new flock. Feeding us a program, like in our case, we have a feeding program from day old all the way to maturity, like these ones. This one is supposed to take 140 grams per day, and we feed them twice a day, in the morning and late in the evening. But in between day old until they mature, there are those every week we go increasing. We have a feeding program. When somebody needs it, we have it. Yeah. In our case, we make our own feeds, but it depends with your capability. It depends with the farmer. Like now, the cost of feeding is very high. And if you don't innovate ways of feeding your birds, at the end of the day, you'll not be making any profit. So in our case, we do our own feeding. I mean, we formulate our own feeds. We have a program, and we have the formula that we make. If it's chicken mash, we make layers, like these ones are layers. And like in our case, we have a machine that we have made here in Kenya, and we are using maize cobs, these ones, to make the feeds. That is going to make it very cheap for us, and we make the profit that we are looking at. So when you grind this maize cob and you mix with a few materials like sunflower, the maize, fish meal, and the people who knows how to formulate, they understand me well, you get very cheap feeds, and you get your feeds, your birds are very healthy and very productive. Management, you start every day. Before you even feed them, the first thing you are supposed to do is to go in the chicken coop and go checking if there is any bird which is not in good condition. And when you find something, you pick that bird, you take it to isolation. If they are okay, you now start a process of cleaning. You sweep. The other thing is to make sure the drinkers are clean. You take them out, you wash them, then you disinfect them, you put water. After that is when now you give feeds. And we normally tell our clients to do that very early in the morning by 6, so that by 7 your birds are already fed. To give them time to now start laying. Because if you start giving them feeds at, let's say, noontime or 11 a.m., you will start seeing some hens coming from the laying boxes going to the feeding. But if you give them the feeds early in the morning, you will now give them time from, let's say, 8, between 8 and noon. You will now come at noon and start collecting your eggs. Then during the day, you do something we give them supplements, something like cabbages. You keep them busy, waiting for the time, the evening feeding. Then in the evening, we tell people to do it at around 5 p.m. so that they also feed and have time to rest for that feeds to be digested to get tomorrow's eggs. Yeah, so that is basically what is management of the day. They lay an egg per day. If you have 100 hens, you should expect, if you are doing proper feeding and you have there is no disease, all your birds are okay, you should expect at least 90 eggs. You can say, let's have like 10 not laying, but at least 90 are supposed to give you eggs, 90%. If you are feeding, following that, you're making sure that everybody is taking 114 grams and quality feeds. Yeah. No, yeah, it is, you are supposed, they are supposed to stay in different henges. You cannot bring a bird of 1 month to the mature ones. Of course, it will be, even if it will not be fought, but when they are eating, it will not be able to compete with the big ones. So let every henge stay separate.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Hii leo jioni katika upeo wa TV47, maandalizi ya safari ya mwisho ya Rais Mwai Kibaki yaendelea hapa Nairobi na kwake Othaya. Wakenya wataanza kutoa heshima zao za mwisho kwa mwenda zake hapo kesho. Wazazi waendelea kulalamika gharama ya kuwarejesha wanao shuleni, huku shule zikifunguliwa kesho Jumatatu.
Kulingana na uchumi vile unaenda, kama mzazi mimi siwezi, kwa sababu siku zimesongea, zote zimechanganywa. Hata sisi kiwa mimi ni mzazi, sielewi mtoto wangu kwa sasa yuko klasi gani.
Na waliofanya vyema katika mtihani wa kitaifa wa KCSE wangali wanasherekea.
Authentic, natural, planned. Transforming. Endless benefits. quality, purely Kenyan. Buy now on Jumia or Amazon.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
We have the viral diseases, which are very difficult to handle. Then we have the normal diseases, which you can go to veterinary and buy the medicine and the cure, but they are incurable. And those ones, you make sure that you vaccinate your birds according to the program of the person who brought the chicks. We have a very viral disease called Newcastle. We have Ngumboro, you have for typhoid, and those ones, they are very viral. This one you make sure your birds are vaccinated. And also there is another one called fourpox, the one that you see hoods on the head. Then we have the normal ones like coccidiosis. That is the one you see bloody droppings. Yeah, those ones you can treat, but the other ones, I said you are supposed to follow the vaccination program. The chicks are supposed to stay in the incubator. Incubator is supposed to only have eggs. So, 21 days, they will hatch. And you give them like 1 or 2 days. Then you come, you vaccinate against a viral disease we call Marex. Then from there is when you take your birds to the brooder. In the brooder, they are supposed to take 3. If you have F1, they stay only 3 weeks. From there, you start seeing them jumping out of the brooder, and now you take them to another stage of feeding. That is growers. But the chick mash, they only take 1 month. From there, you graduate them to growers. Number one, the lighting, when they are small, they need 24/7 light for them to feed throughout. This first month, they are feeding day and night. And the reason is because we want to put immune system very strong, and you make them grow very healthy. So it's like just a human being. When you have a small kid, anytime that kid needs feed, even if it's during the night, you will feed the baby. The same thing applies to chicks. But now when you graduate them to growers stage, that is, we call it youth stage. You can now start giving them during the day and in the evening. The light is very important. One, it is a security. Like the people who are in the rural areas, there are those intruders which comes to attack the chicks or the birds. So when most of them, they operate in the night because they only see when there is dark. So when they find your house chicken coop has enough light, they will not come near. And the other thing, you need also that light to make sure they are seeing the fish that they are hitting, and when they are scrambling even for the feeds, they can see the feeds. Then the only place that we advise we don't have to have a lot of light is in the chicken, the laying boxes, because they need privacy. So when you put a lot of lights, they will get stressed and will not get enough eggs. Number one, the benefits of keeping chicken, it is the meat. The meat that we get from chicken, you cannot compare it with the red meat. This is white meat. Another benefit, it is this egg. Egg adds a lot of health beneficial importance. And also, if you compare this farming with, let's say, the cattle farming, for example, you find that you only take very little time for you to produce. I mean, for you to start getting your profit. Because it is between just 3 months if you are selling for meat. And 4.5 months you start collecting eggs. And like these ones, if you are selling an egg for incubation, and now we are selling at 30 shillings. Because you know that client after 21 days is going to get a bird. Then these birds, everyone that you are seeing, you can count them. You can count 1, 2. If you get 100, every bird there is 1,000. So you can compare that way. 100 birds every month, you get 1,000. You have 1,000 birds every month. You know that if you have a good connection, you have 100,000 every month. And we normally advise people, if you have 1,000 birds this month, next month do that, and next month, at least 3 months. You are sure that every month you'll be selling 1,000, and you are waiting next month to sell 1,000. Because like in the supermarkets and the big hotels, they want that surety that if they need birds from you, meat from you, they will come and they'll find it. Same to the eggs. So we have a lot of benefits from this poultry farming. The market is there. That is if you organize yourself well. Because every day people are eating white meat. If you go to hotels, for example, if I ask you every week, maybe I think in your menu, there must be chicken in it. And maybe another person. So you look for market from your friends. Check in your phone book. How many friends do you have? Tell them that you have birds. You are you are rearing chicken. That person, when he decide to take white meat, he will call you and you will sell. The other thing, like us, our company, when we bring you chicks, we will come to your farm, because as we have big network of market, we will need that client to follow our program well, so that when those hotels and those supermarkets ask for birds, we'll come to you and buy those chicken, or we take those chicken, we sell to the supermarkets, and we bring you money. So you need to have a chain. And that's why I said when we were starting, when you think of putting your, coming into this business, the first thing you are supposed to think is market. Where are you taking this chicken from? You don't just keep. Look for that company which can give you chicks, and which will come for the birds, which will also come for the eggs. And in that way, you'll have a very smooth time of this business. At the moment, a bird like the one you are seeing, they are weighing at least, although these ones are very big because they are 5 months, like the cocks, they are 5 kgs. Some of them are 5. But a bird which is weighing 2.5, we are selling at 1,000. But these ones, we sell 12, 1,500, like the cocks. But in the hotels and the supermarkets, we sell per kilo. and a kilo is now retailing at 440 shillings. So if you have a bird of 5 kgs times 440, you find that you are not even selling 1,000. You talk of close to 2,000 shillings. In Jokev, at Jokev Chicks Kenya, number one, we offer services like consultancy. When you want to start poultry farming, you call us. We will advise you on how to put up your structure. We will advise you on how to prepare. Then from there, we will bring you the chicks if you want to buy from us. And one advice I will give the farmers is make sure if you want to do this business, buy the bird that we call F1. The F1 is the one which is going to take only 3 months, you sell. The other services we do is we help people on how to formulate their own feeds. Because when you depend on commercial feeds, you will not make it. And that's why I was talking about the machine that we have, which grinds this main scope. We also have other services like when you see our birds are very healthy, we don't give them medicine. There is a product that we make called poultry microbes. That product helps in making sure that every feed that your bird is taking, it is fully consumed. It's something like a catalyst. It makes sure that feeds are immediately dissolved and taken to the body system. So if you are expecting eggs, you make sure that tomorrow you will take eggs. If you are you are looking for birds for meat, that bird is going to grow very fast because of that digestion. If you want to reach us, we are on social media. We also train. We do training. We have a lot of topics. We have our YouTube channel, is Jokev Chicks Kenya. Our phone number is 0710 147 596. And all social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and every other, we are Jokev Chicks Kenya. You can reach us through that way.